Hello and good morning out there, students. This is teacher Prashant back with another video as I promised, and this video is linear graph part 9, and in today's video we'll be solving a question regarding linear graph. Now what question am I talking about? Let's go check it out. So this is our question which we will be solving today. So our question is, if a straight line AB on a graph has a gradient of 2 and the line is passing to the point C, 0 and -3 on the graph, what will be the equation of a straight line AB? And given that the same line AB also passes to the point D on a graph where x is 2, what will be the value of y at point D? So let me explain you the question really quick. Now this question is talking about a straight line AB on a graph, and that straight line has a gradient of 2. And the line is also passing to the point C on the graph where the value of x is 0 and y is -3. Now the part A of the question is asking you to find out the equation of a straight line AB. And the part B of the question is asking you to find out the value of y at point D when x is equal to 2. Now what is this point D? This point D is just another point on the line AB on the graph where the value of x is 2 and the value of y is unknown. So part B is basically asking you to find out the value of y at point D when the value of x is equal to 2. So let me summarize really quick what this question is asking you. At first, this question is asking you to find out equation of a straight line AB. And second, this question is asking you to find out the y-coordinate of a point D, which is just another coordinate on the line AB on the graph where x is equal to 2. Now, since we read and understood the question and what exactly the question is asking us to find out, let us proceed further into our lesson. Let's focus on part A of the question, which is write down the equation of the line AB. Let's do this. Now, in order to find out equation of the line AB, you must know that in what form do we write equation of a line in linear graph. Equation of a line in linear graph is written in form of y equals mx plus c. Now, in our equation of line y equals mx plus c, y stands for a variable and also a y coordinate. X stands for a variable 2 and also an x coordinate. M stands for a value of gradient or slope of the line. And at last, C stands for y-intercept. Now, please keep in mind that equation of line in linear graph is made up of 2 variables and 2 numbers. M and C, which is gradient and y-intercept, are written in form of numbers. And x and y are written just the way they are, which means x and y are written in form of variables. Now let me show you an example of equation of line in linear graph so that you have a clear picture of what I am talking about. Let us take an example of y equals 3x plus 5. So in this equation, you can see that the value of m and c, which is gradient and y-intercept, is written in form of numbers. And y and x are written just the way they are, which means y and x are written in form of variables. So this is the key point to understand equation of line in linear graph, that equation of line is made up of 2 variables x and y and 2 numbers, which is m and c. And m stands for gradient or slope and c stands for y-intercept. So in order to have our equation of a line AB, we have to have those 2 numbers. Now, out of those 2 numbers, one number will be used to represent the value of m, which is our gradient, and second number will be used to represent the value of c, which is y-intercept. So if we could find those 2 numbers to represent the value of m and c, which is gradient and y-intercept, we could probably have our equation of line. But my question to everybody watching this video is, how do we get those 2 numbers to represent the value of m and c, which is gradient and y-intercept? And answer is, read the question one more time and see what you could find. So, in order to find out equation of a line AB, you have to substitute the value of m, which is gradient, and c, which is y-intercept, into the equation of line y equal mx plus c. We can find out the value of gradient in our question. So let's read the question. Line AB on a graph has a gradient of 2. So we know that the value of m is 2.
and is passing through the point C where x is 0 and y is minus 3. So our y-intercept will be minus 3. Now, in case if you all are wondering how y-intercept equal minus 3, let me explain you. Write down the coordinate where x is 0 and y is minus 3. So we can say that x is 0 and y is minus 3. Now y-intercept is value of y when x is equal to 0. So in this coordinate, when x is 0, y is minus 3. So that's why y-intercept will be minus 3. So a quick recap why y-intercept is minus 3. Y-intercept is a value of y when x is equal to 0. And in this coordinate, when x is 0, y equal minus 3. That's why minus 3 will be y-intercept. That's how we get the value of y-intercept as minus 3. So now we know what is our m, we know what is our c. It's time to substitute the value into equation of line and find out our equation of line AB. So y will be written same as y because in equation of line x and y are written as variables. So y equals our m value is 2, so 2x, and our y-intercept is minus 3. And there we go, we got our equation of line y equals 2x minus 3. Our answer of part A, which is equation of a straight line, is y equal 2x minus 3. So we are done with part A of the question. Now let us focus on part B of the question. Part B of the question says that the same line AB also passes through the point D on the graph where x is 2. So what will be the value of y at point D? So in simple words, we can say that the question is asking you to find out the value of y when x is equal to 2. We can easily find out the value of y when x is equal to 2 because we already have a value for x, which is 2. How does that help? We can simply substitute the value of x as 2 in our equation of line and we could find our value of y when x is equal to 2. Now let me tell you a little bit more about the point D. Point D is another point of the line AB on the graph where the value of x is 2 but yet the value of y is unknown. So at point D, when the value of x is 2, how much is the value of y? That is what we have to find out in part B of the question. So let's find out the value of y when the value of x is equal to 2. Since we already have our equation of line, we could substitute the value of x into the equation of line and solve the equation for y in order to get our y coordinate. Now how do we do that? Let's see. So y equals 2x means 2 times x minus 3. So y is equal to 2 times our x is 2, so let's substitute the value of 2 in our x, which is 2 times 2 minus 3. So y is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 minus 3. So y is equal to 1. There we go. So when x is 2, y is 1. Our answer B is when x is 2, y is 1, which gives out the coordinate 2 and 1. So we are done with part B of the question. Now since we are done with part A and part B, let's go check our answers. So the answer for question A is our equation of line is y equal 2x minus 3, which is exactly what we got. Now part B is what is the value of y when x is equal to 2 at point D. At point D, when x is 2, y is 1, which is exactly what we got. So both our answers are correct. Now it's time to present everything on the graph. So these are two coordinates which we got from our question, and I've already plotted them on this graph. So at this coordinate, x is 2 and y is 1, and at this coordinate, x is 0 and y is minus 3. So let's find out the gradient. Our gradient is 2. Now gradient basically means change in y divided by change in x. So let's have a look at change in y. So what is the change in y between these two coordinates? So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can say that the change in y is 4. What about the change in x? Change in x is 2. So since our gradient is change in y divided by change in x, so 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. That's why we get our gradient as 2. What about y-intercept? Now y-intercept is the value of y when x is equal to 0. So at this point when x is 0, y is minus 3. So that's why the y-intercept is minus 3. Now y-intercept also means that where on the graph the line is cutting the y-axis. So this line AB is cutting y-axis at minus 3. That's why our y-intercept is minus 3. So we are done with the question. So before I wrap up this video, let me tell you the topic for our next video. In our next video, we will study the relationship between two parallel lines on graph, and we will do this question where we will find the equation of a line that is parallel to y equal 2x plus 1 and passes through the point 5 and 4. So thank you so much for watching, and consider subscribing if you are interested in more future maths content, and please do hit a like on this video if this video was of any help to you. Thank you so much for watching. A very goodbye from Teacher Prashant.